Our students, when we hear from the businesses, we will go ahead and adapt and adjust to that. Our purpose is to serve the needs of the community in a way that really works, and not in a way that they go ahead and adapt themselves to our curriculum. That just doesn't work. The second role, besides the academic, is the career technical, and I can honestly tell you we're no different than any other business in this room. We are currently struggling with the economic hardships that exist today. We are finding ourselves have to be much more entrepreneurial, much more innovative, and find funding sources or streams of revenue that we never even anticipated in the past. We can't count on, even though we have tremendous support from our legislators, as they well know, funding sources are being cut left and right that supported higher ed. In the state, it's the same. The cutback in expenses in our department alone, we've lost about $1.1 million in one unit of the Department of Instruction this year. That has a tremendous impact on our capacity to serve the community. So under Dr. O'Neill's leadership, what we're looking at is entrepreneurial ways to really start to generate funds that bring in revenue in ways that we didn't even imagine before. Whether it's webinars from experienced faculty that we can go ahead and market, whether it's going ahead and providing Spanish programs to business to get your personnel to develop the linguistic skills they might need to be a more effective business or a more effective agency in the community. Whether it's going ahead and working with Forest Service and BLM to go ahead and to do work on forest research or precipitation research that helps us better with fire management in the area, that helps us go ahead and do entrepreneurial activities with Kit Carson that'll go ahead and help them deliver that broadband in a more effective way, or even doing the fiber optic training that they're going to need, because they're looking at 200 employees in the next 18 months to put that system in the place, because they got 29,000 units that they're looking at going ahead and tying into the grid in the next 2 years. So we try to be nimble, we try to be flexible. The best information we can get is hearing from you directly. If you see or hear things that the university can do or should do differently, please contact us. Our role is to go ahead and, in terms of career technical education, serve your needs. And when we hear from you and when we can partner with you, it makes all the difference in the world. There's many more programs, many more things that we could all go ahead and discuss from here, but I'd like to do is just take some time to open it up for questions. So, thank you.
Just to add one piece to that, want to just acknowledge Representative Lujan and his office for helping us get some distance education equipment in particular, as well as Senator Udall and Senator Bingaman. But in particular, that will help us serve those students in the outlying areas. That equipment has just been installed. We're going to have training for faculty in the next couple weeks, and so we'll be moving forward with that. But we were in a situation where a lot of the area high schools actually had better equipment than we did, so we were really excited to get that federal support for that. So thank you.
If I can just take over the microphone here. If anybody does have any questions, then I'll run over there with the microphone so that the cameras can hear. But I'd like to start off with the question, and by the way, those microphones work on there too. I'd like to start off with the question, what do you foresee as far as the broadband initiative? I mean, I see impacts in a lot of different ways, but where do you see the biggest impact in education and business?
Talk to people that are doing research, you know, in the Sengali, research in Antarctica, in live time, so our students can be engaged and ask questions and the like. So from an academic perspective, it has tremendous potential for us. One program I didn't mention as well, and that's Sharon, I'm looking at you here as one of our faculty members, our Green Construction Tech. We started with a very simple idea a couple of years ago of taking our construction technology program and really adapting it to what Taos is noticed for, and that's innovative housing, innovative construction. What we did is we set up an advisory board of the industry partners in the community as well as businesses. They put the program together, and they are the teachers. Right now we have waiting lists for those courses on green technology, and it's everything from plumbing, electrical, construction, and welding, all the way to the solar, solar thermal, photovoltaic, and the like, not to mention even an agricultural program for land sustainability, water sustainability in the region. So watching that program evolve over the last 2 years and the impact it can have on the community has really been an eye-opener, I think, for all of us.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. I just want to reinforce what you were saying about different concentrated course schedules, because that was my experience as well. When I offered a course that was basically a farm workshop that was in a period of 6 days, students loved it. I got one student up from Santa Fe. Actually, I think she might have been from Albuquerque. And she said she's been looking and looking and looking for a chance to come to Taos for a course like this. And so now I'm brainstorming about how can we offer more of these weekend workshops and so on. And again, people want to come here. This also ties into what, USDA wants to support and what RDC wants to support in terms of, agritourism and things like that. So I'm really excited to hear that there's support for that kind of shift as well.
I wonder also, with Taos being the solar capital of the world, and that message being sent out and really being driven home, and quite frankly, it's honestly true now. It began as just a concept, but Taos is #1 per capita in solar usage due to the efforts of Kit Carson Co-op and other partners. And I wonder if there's an opportunity for others as far as distance learning from us and selling those courses outside of the Taos community. Is that something that
No, we are poised not only to attract people here for workshops and to learn from us, but to get some of the message out, if you will, through the distance education capacities that we're looking at. But also, I think well, to give you a sense, I was contacted the other day, the potential that we have for working with Kit Carson Electric and with the solar array on our campus. It puts us in a very pivotal position. I was contacted the other day by some folks from a university who want to partner with us on battery storage for solar. And so they're going to be coming in August and talking with us about possibly using our campus as a pilot site for that. And so we're really, I think we're going to continue to be at the forefront of that. And I know I met with Luis Reyes earlier this week, and we were talking about some of the folks from Japan that came here and talking about the energy grid. And, there's just incredible potential there for a partnership between education and business and small businesses as well as larger businesses. And I think in terms of when you talk about distance education, one of the things I was thinking about too is if you don't have those folks driving in from the outskirts, you're really helping the environment in that way as well. I think the challenge for us is to work with the student population that we have at the community college in a high-tech, high-touch way, so that we, by doing distance education modalities, we don't lose touch of the human connection. And so that's really, those shorter format courses, those more consistent relationships with folks like Fidel. We really want that that kind of high touch as well as high tech. And I think that's what we need for students to succeed and for the community to really see that success and be able to participate in that.
One of the things that we were discussing was the need for high data, high speed broadband, and I've recently come back from living on the East Coast where we had fiber optic broadband service. And I don't know if these numbers mean anything to people, but generally in this community, high speed broadband means about 1.5 megabits per second of data speed. On the East Coast, anybody, even on their phone in a major urban area, can access the internet at anywhere from 50 to 80 gigabits per second. And what that means is it changes this whole paradigm of what technology is. And I think we've all experienced the internet, the slow dial-up, the little tiny boxes of video. And I think as we discuss educational modalities with distance ed, one of the things is to bring back the human element, is to be able to create that simulacrum of experience, high definition video, good sound, so that people are attracted to the content that's presented. And one of the things that Jim was talking about was some of the programs we're looking at, because we have to develop and evolve kind of to more of a revenue based. How are we going to create a sustainability for the institution? And we're trying to develop programs now where we are offering content, modular, discrete course content. We're planning to do this so that people can access anything based from like a CEU perspective. If you're a professional, you need CEU credits if you're a social worker, or perhaps a CLE if you're an attorney, or a CME. We're trying to offer content like that. But one of the things we have in this community, and having come from this place and seen how it's changed, but the one thing is that we have so many talented, well-educated individuals here. So we have no lack of human capital as far as a resource. And so one of the things that we want to develop, but we're challenged with at the same time, is figuring out how to integrate with community members, businesses, to provide this type of content, because we can all benefit from that. We can, if people have ideas about coursework that they can either provide or they want to receive, please talk to us, because this is stuff we want to develop, and we're setting up a system and infrastructure to be able to do that, so that people anywhere, not including just in this community, can access the wealth of information that we have here.